Hey, my handsome ladies and gentlemen, this is Shmeaty. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you are new. In today's video, I've decided the 2600 elo range in the Open Great League will be slapping hole no longer. I am sick and tired of slap hole, and if you're unfamiliar with slap hole, it's that stupid, wiggly tough, / Alolan Sand / Gashadon, Marowak backline team. Oh my goodness, I mauled so hard whenever I see it, and I'm not particularly hard countering it. So today we're going to hard counter it, and if you're sick of that team too, well, here you have a team to deal with it. If you find enjoyment in today's video, or you dislike slap hole as well, please feel free to leave this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. But let's just get into game number 1. We're going to be kicking things off with game number 1 versus Nurse Joy Simp, and it's going to be our Talonflame leading into their Malamar. Malamar has a strict pacing advantage versus Talonflame. I am going to shield up a potential foul play, as foul play would do a lot of damage onto Malamar. They're going to switch out into their Toxapex, and Toxapex is going to get their world absolutely rocked by a Brave Bird. Down goes 50% of their HP, and here I'm very comfortable to just bring in Dugong. Dugong and Talonflame were a surprisingly effective core in the Open Great League, and I really like them. I saw King actually put out a video using this core, and he hit Legend with it. I was actually just running this core at the same time. I didn't steal it, but pretty cool that the core does. It is a little tried and true and does work. We're going to get a fat farm down on that Toxapex, and when that Malamar comes back in, they've used a lot of energy already, so we're going to be able to make Icy Wind number 1, and Icy Wind number 1 gets the Malamar pretty low. I'm reaching for Icy Wind number 2, they're not going to have that though, but this is okay. From here, I'm pretty confident I can just bring in Talonflame, especially when they superpower, and they're gonna bring in Diggersby in the back. Oh no, Diggersby! We're gonna fire off another Brave Bird. They know we're not afraid to send the Brave Bird, so they're gonna commit a shield. But now I just bring in the left Tyrando, and surprise, surprise, Diggersby not very happy to see left Tyrando here. They're gonna be able to reach 2 Fire Punches, but this is okay. We are going to easily be able to tank Fire Punch number 2, shield up Fire Punch number, shield up Fire Punch number 2, tank Fire Punch number 1, and now we're firing off the left Tyrando, and now they're going to switch out into their Malamar. They've given us both of their shields, however, and now left Tyrando onto the Malamar will pick up the KO. We're going to reach for another Frenzy Plant here. We are outside of Fire Punch range, so this Diggersby cannot hope to KO us with this move. We're reaching for that Frenzy Plant on the CMP tie. Down goes the Diggersby to a Frenzy Plant. I clicked the right move this time. GG's to this trainer. In the next game, it's going to be Talonflame leading into an Ariados, and I couldn't imagine a much better lead than this. They're going to switch out into their Clodsire. I'm going to stay in here, and I'm going to fire off this Brave Bird. Brave Bird would do a lot of damage onto the Clodsire if no shielded. Brave Bird connects onto the Clodsire. Massive damage, and now we can easily bring in Dugong for the 0 shield farm down. Well, at least if they don't have Stone Edge, but this one, not intent on firing off a Stone Edge, maybe lulling me into a false sense of security because they have a second move here. I'm not shielding it though. It's going to be another Earthquake. Dugong tanks that Earthquake, no problem at all. Back in should come the Ariados here, but I'm just going to fire off back-to-back drill runs and try to rob this Ariados of any value in this game whatsoever. Drill run number 2 locked and loaded. What is the response from the opposing Ariados? They're going to no-shield it, realizing there's a Talonflame on the lead waiting for them. In comes a Dunsparce, and Dunsparce's hopes and dreams are crushed because left Tyrando is here to shut down this very annoying Pokemon. We're going to fire off a left Tyrando onto the Dunsparce. They don't shield it, and they're going to fire off a move of their own. Here, you're actually going to see me elect to shield the Superior. The reason being is because I can just get away from this game with 1 shield as long as they try to snipe their Ariados energy onto my Superior. I can easily just save a shield, go for another left Tyrando. Here goes that snipe we were talking about, but they have locked themselves in, and now this is free Talonflame energy. We're going to build up just a little bit more there. we have a fly. We can just click the fly, and it would do massive damage onto the Dunsparce, but I am a bozo. I underestimated how much energy this Dunsparce had, and that is very bad for me, as Leftorando, or our superior, is approaching Rock Slide range, and now maybe they think we're horny for the debuffs, and let the Frenzy Plant go. Indeed they do. GG's to this trainer. In the next game, Talonflame leads into a Toxapex, and this lead actually isn't as terrible for my team as you would think. Reason being is if I'm able to fire off this Brave Bird and land it onto the Toxapex, and I have a pacing advantage over the Toxapex. Takes Toxapex 16 turns to get to a Brine. Takes Talonflame 15 turns to get to a Brave Bird. I'm firing off that Brave Bird at 100 energy, switching out into my Dugong, and now this is actually very comfortable, as we've already established for our Dugong. They're not in a range where we'll be able to fully commit to an Ice Shard down like last time, because last time we threw a Drill Run and threw our Brave Bird immediately, but this is still very okay for us. We can no-shield this move. This is only going to be a Brine, and now I'm just going to fire off this Icy Wind. I have 100 energy here. There's not really a whole lot of reason not to fire off the Icy Wind, and now I'm going for that juicy Ice Shard down. I'm so greedy. Oh no. Oh, I undercharged it just too much. The Toxapex lives, gets off the Brine, but that's a free Incinerate for my Talonflame, and I'm hoping my Talonflame can carry. It's going to be a G-Molt in the back, and say it ain't so. He's not going to send 2 Brave Birds straight away in one game, is he? Yes, he is. They're going to shield up the G-Molt, and we're able to make that fly. Are they going to respect this fly is the question. Fly gets the shield from the G-Molt. We switch out on 1 HP with our superior. We're going to fire off a Frenzy Plant. Not immediately here. We're going to need to. They have a lot of energy here. Are we going to shield it? No, we are not. It's the Ancient Power. And now I'm firing off this Frenzy Plant. It's a Marowak that switches in. Oh no. We go for the undercharge. It's a Shadow Kanto Marowak. We get the perfect undercharge. And now we leave with the Frenzy Plant for the Moltres. Is this Frenzy Plant range? It all comes down to this. The Moltres just outside of Frenzy Plant range. We're reaching for another move. We have a shield. We shield up the move from the Moltres. They are not at the back-to-back, and the Frenzy Plant here is going to pick up the KO. That game was almost lost, but we were able to come back. GG's. We're going to be getting into this next game versus King Mandingo. Oh my god. Talonflame versus Machamp on the lead. Machamp wants nothing to do with that lead. Going to switch out into a Morpeko, and Morpeko's safe switch is a very interesting safe switch indeed. With all the slapping going around in this economy, maybe not the economy to be safe switching your Morpeko. I'm gonna fire off a move. This is now I am debuffed, and it's a very strong Aura Wheel from a very attack weighted Pokemon, but Leftorando, rank 1 superior, able to hang on, live that Aura Wheel Dark, and we're gonna be able to get that Leftorando off. They're gonna shield it up. Maybe not counting closely enough because I only had 5 there, and I'm sure if they had counted to 5, they would have just said, ah, that's an Aerial Ace, I could live that. Nevertheless, Morpeko is going to let itself go down to a fly from the Talonflame. They're going to bring in their Feraligatr in the back. A very, very glassy team from this trainer. King Mandingo evidently must not like playing games for very long. We're going to fire off the back-to-back flies onto the Feraligatr, and Feraligatr forced to shield one or get taken out. They're going to let it go, and back in comes the Machamp. Incinerates do massive damage to Machamp, but they have to shield this. If Machamp doesn't shield this, they will instantaneously get taken out. We're reaching for another fly, and we're able to get there. This fly is going to be game over for King Mandingo. GG's to this trainer. All the memes from that last game aside, it's going to be a terrible lead in the next game. Talonflame into a Shadow D-Nair. Dude, I haven't seen a Shadow D-Nair since last season. What is this guy on? Well, I suppose he knows a little bit of the new meta, because here comes a Shadow Drapion, and oh, I'm such a bozo. I shield the first crunch that debuffs, and I telegraph by shielding the first that I'm going for an Icy Wind, and I still go for the Icy Wind anyway. Oh my goodness, this guy's cooking me right now. I'm going to have to shield this move up. I probably wouldn't die, but it would be very uncomfortable, and it incentivizes them to shield and just take switch if I let that go. So I double shield my Dugong. In comes an Azumarill, and oh man, this is super not good for me. I think I'm going to fire off one more Ice Shard here, switch into the Superior. Now I'm going to bank a lot of energy here, actually. Bring in Superior. Looking maybe for a catch of the Play Rough. I'm going to fire off this left Tyrando onto the Dragonair, and Dragonair is going to shield it up. Not really willing to take a Frenzy Plant there. They're going to fire off a move here, but Body Slam's such a terrible move, even without the debuff, because unfortunately no debuff luck ever goes my way. We are still able to easily live a Body Slam, and we're going to fire off another left Tyrando. It gets the debuff, which is actually very nice. They're actually going to shield this up. They probably could have committed to that Dragon Breath down. I only had 2 Vine Whips worth of energy there. They're going to switch out into the Azumarill. And now, is it Talonflame time? I'm thinking it's Talonflame time. Oh no, we're going to double debuff and then it's Talonflame time. This is cruelty. And now, no, it's still not Talonflame time, I guess. Oh, we're catching the Play Rough. Oh my god, I'm surprising myself in my plays. The Play Rough is caught, and that's actually very nice for us. I'm just looking to bank as much energy as humanly possible with my Talonflame right now. I know an Ice Beam at -2 is never going to be enough to KO from that range, and I'm just looking to build up as much energy as possible so that when that Dragonair comes in, they are not going to easily be able to KO. I'm firing off a Fly here. Fly would possibly threaten a knockout from this range. Is the Azu in Fly range? Yes, they are. Firing off another Fly, and now I can just bring in my Dugong. I did store a lot of energy. Do we have enough to take care of this Dragonair? No, it's just not enough. Oh, they make the last second move. And although Body Slam's a truly terrible move, it's not truly terrible enough to not KO there. GG's to this trainer. A little bit of a case of not good, not bad in the next lead. It's going to be Talonflame leading into Gastrodon. That Gastrodon, maybe telegraphing the fact they don't have Water Pulse, switches out immediately into a Clodsire, and this is actually a CMP tie. I really wish I went for an extra Incinerate there. They're going to fire off a move exactly on 7. Very dangerous, because if I wanted to overfarm there, they could have given me 20 free energy. They allow me to send that Brave Bird, and now I'm just throwing 2 more, banking the Fly for later, bringing in the Dugong, and this Clodsire, although I stood in for 2 extra Incinerates, is not going to make back-to-back Stone Edge. So Stone Edge number 1 connects, but now that Ice Shard does KO the Clodsire, back in comes that Gastrodon, but we can just apply debuff after debuff onto this Gastrodon. And if they throw anything short of a Earth Power here, they are not going to KO. But if they show the Earth Power, we know that our Talonflame is perfectly fine into this Pokemon. So they are going to fire off the Earth Power to KO my Dugong here, knowing that a debuff Body Slam wouldn't do it. We bring in our Superior into the Gastrodon, and it is Gastrodon's worst nightmare because it's cored with a Dunsparce, and Dunsparce does not want to see Superior in the back. Now this is a very, very dominant matchup for Superior. Whenever, I don't know why they drill ran me there, by the way, dude. Anyway, whenever Dunsparce is forced to throw apparently resisted drill runs, you could go for the neutral rock slides. It would do more damage, trainer. But whenever Dunsparce is forced to throw neutral rock slides, it is in a terrible position. We get the left Tyrando debuff, and all we have to do is just keep farming. Just keep farming, and there's not really a lose con here. You can fire off a Body Slam here. That's perfectly fine. But Superior will win CMP over that Dunsparce, so if they don't have a move as soon as they come in, they will lose this game. We're bringing in our Talonflame to force them to throw their energy, building up to the Brave Bird, sending the Fly, hoping to make another Fly here, actually, and I do not make another Fly. Unfortunately, I was 2 off there, so unfortunately no Fly for us. But we have the Frenzy Plant loaded, so even though the Dunsparce may have banked back-to-back moves, Superior easily clears that CMP tie, and that's a good game. GG's. In the next game, it's going to be Talonflame leading into a Charjabug. Very interesting lead for us, but this is probably where I want to see it. They're going to switch into their Feraligatr, and I'm just going to immediately switch into left Tyrando. I will be able to make this left Tyrando on 5, and they may very well no-shield because they think it's an Aerial Ace. They get debuffed. Oh my goodness. And this Feraligator's entire existence is invalidated. Generally speaking, an Ice Beam from a Shadow Feraligatr gets the Superior to about 1 HP after the Shadow Claws. So we easily tank that, and now we're going for another left Tyrando on the Charge Bug. Charge Bug is going to get debuffed as well. Left Tyrando popping off this game, and we're going to make another move. Do you think I'm going to fire off the Frenzy Plan here? Absolutely not. Another left Tyrando onto the Charge Bug, does not get the debuff, and this Charge Bug has infinite energy. Not trying to get left Tyrandoed again though. They're going to fire off an X-Scissor to take out my Superior, but I've just got my Talonflame, and they are horribly debuffed here. I'm just going to make them make a decision here. Do you want to throw away your Azu to this Brave Bird? They do not. They're going to respect it with a shield, and in comes my Dugong to neutralize this Azu's energy. Here, I think this is a pretty safe shield because I'm looking to, in this matchup, debuff the Azu so that its energy does less damage and my Dugong can stay in this matchup and wreak havoc for a while. Now, we are going to build up to another move here. I think here it's pretty safe to start drill running. They are going to switch out into that Charge Bug, but I'm not in range of one discharge. They fire off the discharge, I can throw one and Icy Wind here, and now we are really twisting this opponent's arm because Charge Bug not in the best position there. Oh, the 0-turn switch allows us to get that Incinerate down in one. In comes the Azu. I don't think I need to shield this. It's an Ice Beam, will not KO, and we've got the Fly with this Azu's name on it. We are putting this opponent in a very difficult spot here. They're going to get that bubble down, but now we are approaching two moves here. They're going to fire off a move onto my Dugong. Absolutely no reason not to shield this. It's going to be the play rough. And now it does all come down to this. I think this Azu is just outside of double drill run range though. We played this game very well so far, but I don't think that's going to be enough damage. Oh no, it's a CMP tie. Come on, Dugong. I need you to do the impossible. They live the drill run on 1 HP. Oh man, all 296 of those XL candies they spent on that Azumarill have clearly paid off. GG's to this trainer. If there's one thing I like doing is taking advantage of my low elo at the time and going alignment fishing just like this. This Drifblim fires off their energy after 15 turns, and it's also 15 turns for 3 Incinerates as it's a 5-turn move. So we get a free Incinerate because they wanted to throw their Icy Wind immediately. And now they are going to get flown, and Fly does a lot of damage, and we get 1 Incinerate to KO. Our Talonflame has so much energy loaded, and now they bring in the Dunsparce. But this is okay. I'm okay with just soft losing this matchup, and I even have this soft loss planned out perfectly. This Icy Wind allows our Dugong to live the next Rock Slide. Unfortunately, that's not what they're going to do. They're going to bring in Poliwrath, but this is okay. I just fire off a Icy Wind here every single day of the week so that these counters start to do less damage. And now I've got the back-to-back flies. Do they want to commit their shields on the back-to-back flies? They know that their Dunsparce has play. Are they going to let this Poliwrath go? They haven't seen my third yet. They're going to double shield the Poliwrath, and in comes Superior. Honestly, a super effective Icy Wind would do the most damage to my Superior as they have a Dunsparce in the back. And I'm going to fire off this left Tyrando just to pick up the KO on this Shadow Poliwrath before it's able to make another move. Back in comes that Dunsparce, and Dunsparce is going to start firing off these neutral Rock Slides. But neutral Rock Slides, as we have discussed, not threatening at all to the Superior. We're just going to fire off straight Frenzy Plant, and this is going to fall short of KOing because we are debuffed. But a couple more Vine Whips will do the trick. We disrespectfully bring in the Talonflame for no reason, and the game is over. GG's. If you made it to this point in the video, thank you so much for watching. It really means a lot to me, and I'm so sorry guys. I really wish I could have gotten footage of me hard countering one of those slap hole teams with Wiggly or A/Lead and the 2 Mud Slappers in back. I ran into it a couple times, but I had just never been recording, and I wanted to get this video out to you guys because I actually feel like this team played out very well. I will say though, left Tyrando's more of a meme for the channel, and I'd probably run Aerial Ace if I were not fully, wholeheartedly committed to left Tyrando for the rest of my life. I will never run that weird flying move. But anyway, all that being said, this is a very solid team and helped me get grips on the meta and really start making a push toward expert rank, which at the time of recording this outro I have hit. But it wasn't with this team, it's actually with another team which will be featured on the channel shortly, so stay tuned for that if you are interested in seeing that run. With all that being said, thank you so much again for watching. This has been Shmeaty. Hope to see you guys again next time, and have a good rest of your day. Bye.